Good morning. In today's video, well, first of all, I want to introduce my new associate, Larry Hartman, Lawrence Hartman. Bit of background. Larry and I were together at the camp in Miami. I've known Larry for about 5 years now. We met towards the end of his sentence. He was actually one class in front of me in RDAP. Left the camp a few months before me. When we both came out, we started working with another consulting firm. And I left them last year. Larry left them a few months ago. And given the relationship and how knowledgeable Larry is, not only by way of his background, Larry graduated from Columbia Law School and really understands the nuances of the Bureau of Prisons, the administrative remedy process, and his legal background. I thought it'd be a great opportunity that not only do I introduce him, many of you have already spoken to him, have worked with him, but try to pick his brain about something that I know is extremely important and really concerning to everyone, whether you're the defendant or the family. And that's, how do we get home as quickly as possible? How do we, or my loved ones, spend the least amount of time in custody and the most amount of time in a non-custodial environment, home confinement, halfway house? And there's a lot of misinformation about the Second Chance Act and the First Step Act, and can I get a year, 2 years towards home confinement and halfway house? And while certainly it's a function of the length of your sentence, dispelling a lot of those rumors, I think, is essential to really set the expectations to clients and their family. So with that, I wanted to turn it over to Larry, who is by far the most knowledgeable person I know in this topic.
Well, thank you very much, Sam. I appreciate that. Yeah, and basically, at the end of the day, it's all about getting home more quickly to our families, to our loved ones, and getting on with our lives again. Sure, there's plenty we can do while we're in prison. A lot of us view it as sort of this little time out or time that's wasted. We can sure make good use of it, programming, coursework, preparing for the other side. But the important thing is getting back out and getting back home. Now, this was originally governed in terms of getting halfway house and home confinement time up until a few years ago by the Second Chance Act. Well, the Second Chance Act basically said that you can earn up to or get up to a maximum of 12 months towards halfway house and home confinement time. Now, the home confinement time of that was broken down to be a lesser of either 10% of your sentence or 6 months. And so just to give you an example, if you have a 60-month sentence, you get that 10 months. You could have, out of a potential 12 months, you could be 6 months home confinement. If you got 120 months, 6 months home confinement. If you had a 30-month sentence, you would be entitled to 3 months home confinement under the Second Chance Act. That's very important for getting people home. Now, this interplays with the First Step Act that was passed just a few years ago. You and I didn't get the benefit of that, unfortunately. But they interplay with each other. And under the First Step Act, there's been various sort of iterations of it as they rolled it out and tried to get comfortable with it. But basically, there's been a recent pronouncement by the BOP that you could earn up to a maximum of 415 days of earned time credits to get you home more quickly. 365 of that would be off your sentence, which is great. Another additional 50 would be towards that second chance aspect. So it would be added onto your home confinement time. So that 10% or 6 months plus 50 days. And the same thing for halfway house, you could get that up to a maximum of 12 months plus those 50 days. Now, how the Second Chance Act works is a lot of people think, well, I'm entitled to the 12 months. No, you have an ability to get up to 12 months, and it depends on a host of variables. A lot of what they look at when it comes to that, space at the halfway houses, the need to for reentry into society. How much training do you need? I mean, some people, unfortunately, went to prison before a lot of this recent technology that we have come out. They were coming out into a whole new world. And so these are a whole bunch of important factors, and those are in the article. If someone wants to read the article, they can go through all the details. But the important thing is for this is your relationship with your case manager and prepping for how you get out. Because that case manager is the gatekeeper for getting you home more quickly. Now, somewhere around 15 to 17 months, according to BOP policy, they're supposed to start looking at putting you in for recommendation for home confinement. Okay, if you have a shorter sentence, clearly it would be less than that. But if you have a longer sentence, that 15 to 17 month mark. It's very important for people to understand that case managers are busy. There you got a whole host of people that they work with. So you need to stay on top of your time frames for letting the case manager know. Now, the case manager will come up on their calendar, but if you can go to an open house sometime in advance of that, just as sort of a friendly reminder in a very non-confrontational way, you want to be persuasive. The case manager has everybody trying to do this in one way or another. So you want to be nice, persuasive. If you have a release plan, you can share that with your case manager to help them understand why and how important it is you get as much halfway house and home confinement time as possible. Another key factor to consider is there are a number of people like myself who switch districts or have a different address. If you do not get that modified in advance, then that could delay your halfway house and home confinement time. And what do I mean by that? Well, the reason for that is the BOP needs to send a probation officer once again out to the address to approve your release address where you're going. So that's a very important factor. So people go in and they'll think, I can get that 12 months or now 12 months plus 50 days and it's a lock. It's far from a lock. The case manager will review a bunch of factors. Like, for example, I had a 10-year sentence. And unfortunately, I served most of that sentence as a result of what was going on. I got the time off RDAP, and I was able to get approximately 8.5 months towards halfway house and home confinement. Out of that 12 that I would have hoped to get. You would think on a long sentence like that, you need to readjust to society. But my case manager put me in for 9 months. I got 8.5. I was pushing for 12, but had I not been proactive, I probably would have gotten less, and I've seen a lot of people get less than that. So
let me ask you an interesting question, because a lot of times we have clients with lower sentences, 18 months, 24 months. And they're going to ask after watching this or reading about what we're talking here, if I have a 24-month sentence, am I still getting or eligible for 415 days of non-custodial? And I think we really need to set the expectations that it is a function of their sentence as well. Yeah. And you do have to earn those earned time credits to get that full year off.
Right.
So, I encourage everyone, when you're watching a video, or if you have any questions, reach out to us, call us, text us, email us, and we'll try to not only dispel the rumors that are out there, but provide as much valuable information as possible. So this will be the first of many videos that Larry and I will be doing together. I hope you enjoyed the first one.
Thank you very much.